Hey y'all, welcome to Growth Rising. If you've been here before, you know that I'm Bird. If you haven't been here before, well, hey, I'm Bird. And lately we've been talking about, the different moon signs. We've went all the way through Sagittarius. And to find your moon sign, you can just go to Google and just say, birth chart calculator, or you can even calculate your moon sign. But you might also need, I'm not 100% sure, but you might also need your time of birth for that because the moon moves like every 2 to 3 days. And so, depending on what day you're born, the moon could have been in two different signs within that day. So, knowing if you're born at a specific time will be helpful. But yeah, so I would also suggest, just to find your birth chart as a whole because then you'll know, well, of course, you probably already know your sun sign if you can actually find your birth chart, but you'll know your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Neptune. Well, depending on if you know anybody who is around your age, you'll probably already know your Pluto sign because Pluto stays in one sign for like 20 years. So you'll probably already know that sign, just depending if anybody else in your life. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and get on into the video instead of going over all the different planets. But today we're gonna go over the Capricorn moon. And so if you are born and you have a Capricorn moon, you may be known as somebody who's pretty serious. You might not be the type of person who's always wanting to play or always trying to get emotional. And you might also find yourself liking things that are more tangible and measurable, things that you can like see and touch and measure because that just might be what makes more sense to you. And with the Capricorn moon, you may be more toward, well, more away from like, oh, let's have like a little summer fling, spring fling, any kind of fling, because you'll be more like, hey, you know what? I want a stable, committed relationship because this not knowing is not it for me. And also with this moon sign, you'll want to provide for your loved ones, like in a practical way and in a materialistic way, because you want to make sure like they don't want for anything. You want them to be, well taken care of in all possible ways. But as far as with the emotions, with Capricorn moons, you may not be as emotional as other moon signs. For one, um, the moon is pretty weak in Capricorn. Not weak as in you won't ever feel emotions, but the moon just doesn't thrive as much in Capricorn. But that's okay because there are plenty of planets that thrive less in some signs and more in others, and it's just so happened that the moon thrives less in Capricorn. And as far as with emotions, you might just not understand why some people have so many emotions, which I know several people who wish that they felt that way. Like, why do I have to be so emotional? But you probably don't have that issue of kind of like your moods going like this all day long. It's more steady. But don't get me wrong, Capricorn moons do feel emotions and they have emotions. And Capricorn moons can have mood swings. Yeah. It's like you can let emotions build up because you don't understand them. You don't quite, you might not exactly know how to express them. You might not understand like why am I feeling this way about this type of situation? Like you're just not getting it because it's like I don't want to feel this and I don't get it. But, don't let it build up so much and then you just lash out at everyone. And also with, a Capricorn moon, remember to not be too hard on yourself because that's one thing that Capricorns can do is put pressure on themselves because they want everything to go great for others that sometimes they might, forget to show themselves love because they always want to help or to provide. Um, and also, don't be afraid to express your emotions, even though you might not understand what emotion you're even feeling at the time. Just try to talk it out. Find somebody who you're comfortable with and tell them how you're feeling. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm angry," because you could feel any type of emotion. There's a lot out there. You could just be like, I actually feel like I feel this emotion and it's like running through my bones or something, whatever kind of way that you're feeling. And, just to go ahead and get it on out. And another thing with Capricorn moons is that they're like natural born leaders. They want to be useful and, like productive. And so they will be very good leaders. So do keep that in mind. But I wouldn't say go put it on an application for work and be like, oh, I should take this manager position because I'm a Capricorn moon. Everybody don't know about this stuff. Some people do though. Granted, some people do, but everybody don't. And with the Capricorn moon, you may feel guilty around, your parent or more likely the mother, but that mother figure in your life because of some of the harsh things that might be said. And oh yeah, I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the video, but your moon sign, talks about like your emotions, how you deal with emotions, and also um typically the mother or that mother figure, but just one of the parents or guardians that's giving you that motherly figure in your life. But also you may feel like your joy is kind of dimmed around this parent, like some of the, well, I don't want to say the life. I'm just gonna stick with joy. Some of the joy is kind of like being sucked out of you. Um and this parent may be very serious, like to the core. They're like, hey, let's do work and then play. Or, they're always thinking of the worst possible situation and whatever it is. Like, you might be driving to a new town for the first time. They might be thinking, oh my goodness, the police can pull us over anytime because I don't know, maybe my tag light is out, or um like, what if somebody runs the red light and then, almost hits us, or, just thinking of the worst possible situation. And you might have seen that, growing up. And, you with the Capricorn moon, you might want to help your mother or this parent because that they do a lot for you. So you want to help them out in the same way. And also, your parents may rely on you for like practical support. So that could be something else that just kind of built up, you needing that to be like strong or less emotional, or like um for lack of a better word, sturdy. So, growing up with that. But yeah, so that was the Capricorn moon. And if you have a Capricorn moon, just let me know and down below, and let me know if there's anything that I left out. Have a good one.